you probably are also a witness to this, where seven, eight, nine-figure top-line companies that have their endpoints a DNS pointing directly to their Active Directory DNS. Just the prevalence of that one default alone tells me that you're right in your broader assessment that DNS is not thought about proactively. And we find the same thing about the DNS folks, or the ones that carry that responsibility, are very often not part. The larger the organization, the more isolated they are, and the less influence they have on the networking team, the less influence they have on the security team. So in a larger enterprise, we're talking about dealing with three separate and distinct teams: security, networking, and the lonely DNS, just to do DNS correctly, and then to try to corral them together to agree on something. Everybody feels like their domain is being trotted upon when a good idea or a good strategic step forward is being proposed.
But that's also not investing in DNS, right? Because one of the things, just to add to that, because I worked with lots of the top 500 enterprises in the world. Not to pat myself on the shoulder, but I did. And what you're seeing is that the DNS team for a big bank worldwide is maybe 3 people. So the investment in that kind of department is so low that it disappears from the charts, right? So, and with that, the seriousness or the importance as well, because it's not costing anything, compared to a security team, for example, which costs hundreds of millions in larger organizations. So I think it's also the voice they don't have because of that, or the politics around it of that, when it goes down, it's always like the DNS guys all said, "We told you so," always, always, and nobody listens because there are these 3 nerds of 100,000 people company that is making sure that everything works. So I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's again, knowledge on decision-making level. The DNS guys are not equipped to explain how DNS works and how important it is in the architecture. So we can help them with that, but it's a lot of work. But it's also money. How much do you need? Yeah, 10,000, 20,000. Oh, but can we not use this DNS thing from Microsoft or whatever? So they're battling. Continents is battling, and we need to help those guys a little bit more, which I'm doing for the last 25 years. It helps a little bit, but we need to do it absolutely more.
Right, absolutely. Is there any particular strategy that you find that has worked? Because when you focus in areas that you've also written about, which is about moving towards automation, and the moment you have good quality of automation, you've got this human dividend. You've got a return of people's expertise that's basically returned in the form of availability of time and tasks. How do you convert that availability now to a defensive posture?
Well, it's what you guys do with the zero trust, right? You turn it around, right? So you make you only trust what you can trust, right? But what I'm seeing is 2 things that goes a little against that. It's like you have now application builders in enterprises, for example. They build an application, they push a button, and it runs on the network, and it is provisioned, DNS, DHCP, the whole thing included, security zones, what they know. They actually don't think about it because it's a press of a button. So it's not on their mind to build or architect an application that takes into account some stuff. So it works even better or in conjunction with the security policies and all this kind of stuff, instead of just this template and you will be fine and we will see it back in the audit. But the performance could be bad or even could be leaking or some security implications because of it, because they don't have it on their mind because they are just flushing out code, right? And what you see there is that having a process, automated or not, it doesn't really matter, that thinks about this stuff where all these geniuses are together and think about it instead of different departments that come up with their own template. You run 3 templates: a security template, a DNS template, and a provisioning template, and you'll be fine. And the conjunction of these 3 is far-fetched gap. I'm not saying everybody, but in general, I would say this is true, and it's not helping companies to deploy stuff, right? And in the worst case, it comes with security implications.